So I have one question for you. How many people own or have used a computer, tablet, or phone? Now, how many people ever had the message on their computer, tablet, or phone, a new version of your software is available for download? Version 2.0, would you like to download it now? Who had that message? By show of hands. Yes. Now, how many people have actually ignored that message? Said no to it, or just completely said, no, I'm not gonna do it, I'm too busy. What happens if you continuously ignore that message over time, weeks, days, months perhaps? Your computer begins to slow down and it doesn't run as effectively and as efficiently as you want it to and as it is intended to run. Who likes that, right? Nobody likes that, of course not. Now, what is the primary intent of an update or upgrade in your software? So it does the complete opposite, right? So it fixes all the bugs. So it fixes all the errors. How many times in here has life presented us with a challenge, a problem, an opportunity, a struggle, any form of adversity today, and life presents us on the screen of our mind, of our life, and it says, a new version of you 2.0, is available to you right now. Would you like to download it now? Yes or no, okay or cancel, download it now or later. Now, what happens if we turn away from that message? Then we begin to slow down. And a whole host of viruses, mind and life viruses, show up, plaguing our body, minds, and spirit in our hearts in the form of phobias, addictions, fears, anxieties, physical dis-ease shows up, and we wonder why. What is the primary intent of that? And the intent is this: so you can work faster, stronger, more efficiently, be wiser, more intellectually sound, and ultimately, at the end of the day, these challenges that show up are to prepare us for the next challenges in life. Now, sometimes when we face in our computer and it says, would you like to download it now, yes or no? If we actually press yes on it, sometimes do we not get a message that says something on the lines of, before you download this, you must first accept the terms and conditions of this agreement, blah, 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 and there's about 50 pages which no one reads, right? And then you gotta press click on the square box at the bottom and then press yes. In life, if you choose to accept the terms and conditions of your challenge, your adversity, what you're really telling me is this: you're accepting the terms and conditions to take responsibility, full responsibility for what shows up in your life. Now, there's a whole plethora of challenges and problems that show up in our life daily, from the outside world, the weather, the economy that we have no control over, disease, our boyfriend or our girlfriend might leave us, our husband or our wife might leave us. Those are things we certainly can't control. However, would you not agree that going back to university, going back to college, or upgrading your skills and getting new certifications on a yearly basis, would that not constitute an upgrade and update in your life software? Yes. Yes. Would not nurturing your relationship with your kids, your family, your friends, God, the universe, and continuously meeting the needs of those you love constitute an upgrade, an update in your software? Absolutely. But I'm not so easily convincing and naive to think that life is as easy as pressing a button on the screen of your life, and yes, and within seconds, our life is better. Choose what we to face, what's in front of us. Now, I believe the next three components are elemental in upgrading and updating your software, and they are as follows: faith, fire, and flexibility. Now, ultimately, when we meet a challenge, when we face a struggle in our life, and we turn away from that struggle, are we operating from a level of faith or from a level of fear? Fear. Now, let's define fear for a second. Fear is simply this, and listen clearly. Fear is trusting that the worst, the bad, the wrong, the ugly will happen regardless of any physical evidence to suggest that it will. What is faith? Faith, listen clearly, I love this definition. Focused awareness in trusting harmony. Wow, beautiful. But at its base, let's define it more clearly and more effectively. Faith is simply trusting that the best, the good, the righteous, and the beautiful will happen regardless of any physical evidence to suggest that it will. So whatever struggle you are going through currently in your life right now, personally, professionally, whether it's in your control or not. In fact, Evidence might suggest that it won't work out, but you're going to trust anyway. Second, fire versus ice. When I think of ice, I think of someone who's paralyzed and frozen by fear, anxiety, worry, inadequacy, unworthiness. We've all been there before. And out of that frozen cold heart arises one word that I can think of: cynicism, a cynic. And out of that cynic arises three components that is outlined so beautifully in the self-help book, self-help classic book by Dale Carnegie, How to Win Friends and Influence People. And he says this: criticize, condemn, and complain. People that have a cold heart, frozen heart, start to criticize life, their friends, their family. They start to condemn God, the universe, or whoever. They start to complain about virtually everything in that shows up in their life, regardless if it's good or not. When I think of fire, I think of the awesome power of the sun that heats our whole entire planet. That without it, we'd all be dust. That when I think of fire, I think of blazing determination. I think of burning desire. That when you focus the energy of the sun through a magnifying glass, when it's focused, it can sear and burn through anything. They say that you can measure the IQ of any human being on the planet, which in today's world means this much. But they can never measure the heart, the hunger, the drive, the power of the human spirit of a man, woman, or child. Number 3, flexibility versus rigidity. In seminars like this that I conduct, and with working with groups and individuals, I ask them this question about flexibility and rigidity. I ask them this: what is the one thing in nature that has the potential to survive a hurricane, tornado, or torrential storms? A palm tree. Why? Because it bends and flexes in the wind, yet, and here's the key, remains deeply rooted in the earth. So must we be flexible in our response to challenge and how we approach the challenge, yet remain deeply rooted in what's most important in our life, what we deem as valuable, our principles, our morals. Now, I want to end here in terms of something that is very important, in terms of the most important update and upgrade that you could possibly make in your life consistently throughout your life, and perhaps you are in that stage right now. It is the most important update of upgrading your life software, your systems of belief, based on the current life stage you discover yourself to be in. What does that mean? I'll give you a couple of examples of this to illustrate it. I was coaching a 45-year-old woman in her mid-40s, and after getting to know her for a couple minutes, I realized this woman is strong, she is healthy, she's fit, she's beautiful, she's wise, she makes a lot of money. What does she need me for? And it soon turned out she was depressed, frustrated, lacking meaning and purpose in her life. And I soon discovered that she had a blueprint or worldview or system of belief that was 20 years old, that her software was out of date. See, in her 20s and 30s, she was this fitness competitor, fitness model, fitness bodybuilder, getting pictures done in magazines, getting all this attention, making connections. People loved her and respected her. Now she's in her mid-40s, and she could still do that, but she transitioned into a different stage of her life, yet her software didn't follow. She wasn't even aware of that. And so what actually happened was I got her to be aware of that, asked her questions, and from that awareness, I asked her mind-powering, thought-provoking questions like, happiness is what? What is real happiness to you? Let's create a new vision for yourself. Health is what? Energy is what? Vitality is what? Vigor is what? And she started to create a new foundation for her life and started having a new compelling future. Is it not true that sometimes on the computer screen or tablet or phone that we have, when our download is almost fully complete, we get a message that says something like, your download is almost fully complete, but in order for the completion of this download, you must restart your computer. The same thing goes for us as human beings. If you're going through some chaos in your life, some struggles, lacking meaning, or whatever struggle you're going through, sometimes we must do this. Press restart on our minds, our bodies, and our souls. Take a couple steps back. Re-examine our motives. Re-examine who we are. Re-evaluate what's most important to us. Reprioritize our vision, our commitment, our mission, our passions, our purpose, and our power, and claim it. No one's going to do it for you. Food for thought. You 2.0 is available to you at any moment in time. The question is, are you going to consciously step in and use faith, fire, and flexibility? Or are you going to be paralyzed by fear, a cold heart, and rigidity?